What's up, guys, and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2. If you're enjoying this series, make sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe. If you haven't already, it would be greatly appreciated. In the last episode, we were mainly focused on building, and I know it was a shorter video. I'm really sorry about that. I recorded the first 3 episodes back to back to back, and by the end of the third one, it was already like 10 or 11 p.m., so I really did run out of time. But I'm gonna try, emphasis on try, to have this series be uploaded daily. I know at a certain point that's probably not going to be sustainable, so just please bear with me if the schedule ever gets a little spotty. I disliked the roof that I made so much that over the weekend I decided to mess around with our main entrance a little bit more. So before we get going on the rest of the park today, let me show you guys what all has changed. The first thing that you're going to notice is the big old Toogii land sign that, yeah, I did rip from one of the Blueprint resort buildings. All I really did was change some of the colors and obviously changed the text to say Toogii Land instead of Gloopy or whatever the heck that it said before. I also made a custom little Toogii logo, which I thought turned out absolutely fantastic. And now our roof has a bit of greenery, kind of helping to break up the repetitiveness of it all. We also have a roof on the underside now with some lights. The lights are a little weird. I really like these boho-esque lights. I think they look really, really good, but they don't work at all like you would expect. Let me set the lighting here real quick to like 5 a.m. just so I can show you a little bit better. So rather than having sort of this global illumination to them like most ceiling lights would, they kind of function more like a spotlight. Let me edit this real quick. If I start rotating this guy around, you'll see what I'm talking about. See, that's all the light that this thing actually outputs. So even though they look fantastic, we'll probably end up swapping them out for something else in the future. In addition to the roof, I also decided to adjust our second floor interior walls because what we had up here before just wasn't really doing it for me. Like, the walls didn't really line up with each other the way that these ones do. We've also got some big bamboo doors now. I think those look so much better than not having a door at all. And then for the skywalk, I made sure to cover up the side and the underside of that path. I figured that was probably bothering a couple of you. Moving around to the back side of the building, I've added a couple of picnic tables, some umbrellas, and finally some proper signage for these shops. Something that I noticed though is there doesn't seem to be an option to set an advertised destination for these things anymore. I think that they've just gotten rid of that altogether, which honestly is fine by me. It'll save us a little bit of time, and these guests, they're smart enough now, they don't need to rely on a sign to figure out where certain things are at. It's all up here for them. So we've got a information sign here, another just across the way, and last but not least, a So Delightful sign just next to this facility. We've reached the end of our second day at Toogii Land, and we made a whopping $42,000, almost $43,000 with just a single pool. Keep in mind our failed lazy river is still closed. We'll be messing around with that a little bit later on today. But first, we're kind of rocking a bit of a Rasta color scheme at the moment with the red, green, and yellow. But I'm into that. I just think we need to sort of play into it a little bit more, right? Yes, Ross Toogii. So we're gonna pause things for a minute or two. I'm just gonna duplicate this wall right yonder. We'll place it down right there. And then all we really need are some additional lights. I want like a spotlight from the bottom of these walls, kind of illuminating upwards. And of course, they're gonna be red, green, and yellow. We'll kind of alternate them. I think it's gonna look really, really good, at least at nighttime. Probably won't make much of a difference during the day. We're gonna snap a light to this wall, not the one that we placed out here. We're gonna be using that for something else. I'll show you that here in just a minute, but we're gonna rotate it straight up and then slide it on down just until it starts to clip through the terrain down there. That looks pretty good to me. Now for this guy, we'll change the light color to red. And you know what? A black housing, that's probably fine. Actually, let's do green since it's right on the grass. That might make it blend in a little bit better. With our light highlighted, we're gonna select this wall as well. Now, if we start duplicating this, that light is going to be locked to the same grid that this wall uses. So it'll be in the exact same location all the way around this entire building. Then when we're done, we can just delete these walls. Okay, this looks so much better than I expected. Again, during the daytime, you're probably not gonna notice it like at all, but at night, it looks absolutely incredible. I think I'm gonna change the color of these awnings and the little sun loungers below them. We'll do red, green, and then we can leave these last few yellow. But now that I've actually had a chance to look through the comments, I've gotten a lot of great feedback from you guys, a bunch of helpful tips and tricks, so thank you all so much for that. While I'm not someone who strives for realism in video games, I hear you, all right? We're gonna move the lifeguard towers closer to the pool. That way they can actually help stop people from drowning. This is gonna be the only realism change that we make, so don't even think about suggesting anything else, all right? That's just not me. It is game. It is only game. With everything color matched now, including our diving boards, I want to spend a little bit more time on our 3 slides. Now, eagle-eyed viewers probably already noticed, these aren't even the same 3 slides that we used to have. The last ones broke somehow, so I rebuilt them, but even these don't seem to be getting much attention. And I think it's probably because the scenery rating is only at 1%, which is very, very bad. So I'm gonna spend a few minutes here to try to build some type of structure, some type of facade around the platform and probably the staircase as well. And maybe then people will be a little bit more interested. Editor Toogii, there better be a 6 SpongeBob bubble transition right about meow. That's coming from Ross Toogii, not to be confused with Editor Toogii, 2 completely different people. See, now that is what I'm talking about, dude. That looks so much better. It is pretty similar to our main entrance building, I realize that. However, the most important thing is we have a Q scenery rating, or I guess just a scenery rating, of 100% now. We went from 1% all the way up to 100%, so we gotta feel good about that. And it looks like people are actually starting to use the slides again, which is excellent. I wonder what our pricing is now. 12 bucks? Dude, these used to cost like $4 or something. That's ridiculous. Okay, so next time we add some flumes or some slides in, we're gonna want some sort of scenery around them, because that's gonna help us make way more money. We should probably change the color of them though, because the purple isn't really vibing with everything else we've got going on here. So let's try red, green, yellow, and then maybe black, I guess, for the last color. That doesn't look too bad. It's a shame that there are 4, colorable areas. If it were just 3, it'd be a lot better. Oh, and then the supports. Let's make those brown. There we go. Now we just have to do the same thing to all the slides. The pool is so loud. I find myself having to bring the camera up a little bit just so it's not as intense. They definitely look a heck of a lot better than they used to when they were purple, right? They don't stick out as bad. However, we're still having an issue where not a lot of guests are willing to queue up to go down the slides. And I've heard from a lot of you that several players have had issues with the custom flumes. So I guess at least it's not just me. But something else that you had recommended is utilizing, oh my God, okay, we've just got to pause things. I'm sorry, it's just too dang loud. But something you had recommended is utilizing the lazy river jets to sort of keep people away from the slides. So after they go down the slide, it'll kind of force them deeper into the pool. That way they don't try to turn around and then get hit by the next person going down the slide. So let's see if just adding those under each light there is gonna help us out. Honestly, yes. Wow, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think it was gonna be that easy. We probably don't even really want these ladders here either, because people are gonna wanna turn around to use those. So if we just get rid of that, that should help out a ton. Yeah, dude, check that out. It's almost like we have one of those invisible, floating ropes separating the pool. That's phenomenal. While we're sort of hovering over the pool here, I kind of want to change the pool edge to this wood plank, and then maybe the pool bottom and the walls to this concrete instead. Let's see how that looks. So far, I'm a fan, though it didn't change the edge. Do we have to, oh, you actually have to focus on the edge for that. Okay, what do we think about that though? It gets rid of the drain, so it doesn't look as realistic. All you realism fans probably aren't gonna enjoy this one. I think it looks a little bit nicer. right? The wood kind of ties in all the wood that we've used for our buildings thus far. What I want to work on next is adding some much needed scenery to the front of the main entrance. It's a little too bland looking up here, but before we do that, I think I'm actually gonna save, quit, and come back. I'm thinking maybe the slides, like maybe the save just kind of needs to be reset so the slides will operate as they should, and hopefully it'll stop people from grouping up like this. I've never seen it do that. It's being very weird. Yeah, so... Oh, hang on. Hang on. I don't know what's going on here. People just doing circles in front of the front entrance. It actually helped. Okay, so maybe if you guys are having issues in your parks as well, just try saving, quitting, and coming back. Look at all these people. They've stopped congregating. They're all starting to kind of work their way over to the slides. There's some bugs. You know, there's a couple of bugs, but we're not going to worry about that. I did just remember somebody else had suggested adding not a staircase, but almost like a wedge that people can sort of walk up and down. And I think I'm going to put that right over here. A kid just straight up got stuck in the wall and disappeared. Is he good? Hopefully he's all right. Okay, I'm gonna pause because, yeah, too noisy, but let's head into pools here under create custom. We're gonna use this stamp builder again. And I think if we just do something like this right there, make sure it's the same like swimming depth. We'll go across the way and do the exact same thing over here. But now that we have that, I wanna say it was the edit tool, if I remember right. We take this guy and we can change the height. So now there's almost like a staircase. I would consider that more or less a wedge. I'm hoping that this will sort of help people get in and out of the pool a little bit easier, especially if they don't want to just jump straight in or use the ladder to get in. So we'll go with that for right now. And maybe some railing. Just like one rail going down into the water. Let's see what we have for rails. What is this guy? Submarine rail. That's probably a little bit too small. We've got this one as well. A mythology ship railing. Okay, none of these are what I was hoping for. There's gotta be something else. Here we go. The aquatic fence. And I'm pretty sure, as long as our settings are right, yeah, stick to surface, align to surface, it should pop right to the slope, dude. That is nice. A little too low. I think I'll probably bring it up, but let me change the color of this sucker too. Probably just like a darker gray. I wish we could make it chrome so it would blend in with the ladders, but that's okay. You can't always get what you want, right? That's what I'm talking about, dude. That looks nice. And then we'll just kind of fine tune it a little bit. Change our camera angle so we can actually see underneath the waves or the water. We'll just slide that all the way up to about there. That kind of looks like a pool staircase, right? Unfortunately, I cannot take credit for this idea. As much as I want to, you know who you are. It was a viewer recommendation. And it looks freaking nice. Let's make our way back around to the front though, so we can get started on this main entrance scenery. So rather than having to place one tree here, one bush there, one flower here, we don't have to do that anymore. Thankfully, we have a scenery brush tool now, and it is an absolute game changer. Though a little finicky, much like our flumes and slides and whatnot. We just gotta give the devs a little bit of time to kind of iron out some of the bugs. Not a big deal, but I've noticed that even at like 10, 20% intensity, it's a little too intense. So 1% seems to work pretty good for me. All we're gonna do using the tropical small plants brush is start painting alongside the front of the building. We're gonna bring it out this direction and then right up close and personal to that path right there. That looks so dang good. We probably shaved off 30 minutes of this recording with just that alone. And I'm a big fan of that. You guys know that, like, one of my least favorite things to do in Planet Coaster, in Planet Zoo, really any game, is placing down individual plants one by one. It's too time consuming. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I think Frontier finally realized that, so they gave us this lovely new tool to use. So now that we're done with the small tropical plants, we're gonna switch it up to the large ones, still using 1% intensity. Watch how intense it still is, even at just 1%. It's too much. That's too much foliage. Actually, hang on, that... Add a little bit more over there. That kind of works. Let's try to do the same on this side now. I don't hate it. I'm gonna have to go through and like fine tune a couple of them, right? We don't want a tree inside of our building. And I'm sure some of the bushes down here, yeah, those are kind of on the inside. So a little bit of tweaking still required, but for open areas especially, I think, I mean, game changer. For real, for real. Frontier, thank you. See, like, I can totally handle a couple of extra minutes for fine-tuning and whatnot. That's really not that big of a deal, so long as I don't have to place each individual plant by hand. I'm good. I'm good. And there we go, ladies and gents. We've got our main entrance scenery complete. I realize I'm using tropical plants in a Mediterranean park. It is what it is, you know, probably should have chose a different starting area. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just delete whichever trees we can. I figure probably not all of them are deletable. Yeah, like that one I can't get rid of. The worst one, because every time I try to look at the front entrance, it's right in my way. We can't get rid of that either. Perhaps, maybe in sandbox mode. Okay, that one's not going anywhere either. But yeah, maybe in like sandbox mode or something we could actually get rid of them. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. With the main entrance more or less under control now, even though it looks a little overgrown, I want to see if we can't fix one of our park's main issues. And that is, should be pretty obvious, the overcrowding issue. We have 1,100 guests in the park right now and just one pool for them to enjoy. So easy solution is we just need another pool, right? But I don't want to do a lazy river. After a little bit more thought and of course reading your guys' comments, I do think a lazy river would be better suited probably in this area where it could go through a cave or just around a bunch of scenery, not just smack dab in the center of a concrete slab. So we're gonna be deleting this, and in its place, we're gonna add a wave pool. I found the center point of this plot here, so all I'm gonna do is add another pool to the left, another to the right, and then we're gonna change our depth to wading right here, and then we'll go out one more with a shallow section. Maybe we'll tweak this a little bit more. I just want the guests to have like a gradual descent into the deeper area of this wave pool. God, that's so loud, dude. Okay, so now that we have that done, let's go back to wading depth. Or no, that's what that already is. So then right here, if we make that swimming depth, that should give us that sort of slow descent that I'm looking for. There it is. And then I think it's important to have a good majority of your wave pool. I don't know this with 100% certainty, but I think it's important to have a good majority of the wave pool be swimming depth at the very least, because I don't think the wave machines will really do anything in, say, wading or shallow water. All we have to do now is just add the wave machines, the devices that actually cause the waves, to this end of the pool, and hopefully we can add the big boy smack dab in the center here. I'm kind of using the lights as a reference, almost as like a center point, which is kind of nice. So let's hit play. I have the pool closed. We don't even have filters out here. We have no lifeguards on duty. I just want to see if the wave pool is going to function as intended. What the heck was that noise? You guys heard that too, right? I'm not crazy. I swear I'm not crazy. The waves aren't even that... What is that, dude? Anyways, yeah, the waves aren't really even that crazy. Why does it keep happening? No, the pool should be closed. It was closed. I swear it was closed. Y'all need to get the heck out right meow, okay? I don't need you, there's that noise again. I don't need you drowning over here without lifeguards on duty, okay? Yeah, there you go. There you go, thank you. It'll be open in, Why does it keep making that sound? It'll be open when it's open, okay? Just be patient. I'm kind of wondering now, like, what if we made it diving depth? Kind of seems a little spooky, a little unsafe, but maybe it'll be good. Maybe the waves will be larger. I moved the wave machines down a little bit since we have a diving depth instead of swimming, so how about now? Okay, they look pretty much the same. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really think that did us any favors. Oh, dude, and the pool is getting swarmed. People are eager to get in the wave pool, which is good. You know, that's good for business. But I don't know, I wish we could make those waves a little bit bigger. Dang it, dude, I keep forgetting to use the rounding tool. I swear I'm not trying to make every single pool here a square and or a rectangle. I realize that we probably need some rounded edges. And you know what? While I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and make that same change over here to this pool. See, that looks so much better. We're gonna have to move that ladder, but that's okay. What about these? Oh, see, now we're talking, dude. Now we are talking. Look at that. Okay, that last corner there, and then of course, the two corners over here by the diving boards. That looks nice. I don't know if we should round this off as well. I think that kind of looks a little weird, actually. I prefer that squared off instead for the staircase, right? Guys, hey, I really don't want you in there, right meow. Could you like hop out, please? That would be super cool of you. Thanks, guys, appreciate it. Anytime you edit a swimming pool, even though it was previously closed, it'll reopen it. Let's figure out this whole filter situation next. We're just gonna duplicate that guy and slide it on down to right about here. Next, if we go back into facilities, right? Non-blueprints, we want custom. That's how we get the pipes. So we're just gonna connect that filter to this one, and we should be good then. Let's make sure that it actually has filtration. We're golden. Beautiful. Okay, next, lifeguards. We probably want 2 of them. Let's do 2 of them, but I like the high chairs more. I don't know why. So I'm gonna duplicate this one, and then we're gonna put these, again, roughly as center as we can get them. Whoa. Just on either side, like so. I think we're ready to open it now. Hopefully. Oh my good lord, look at this. You guys, come on, for real? And these guests, they're smart enough now, they don't need to rely on a sign to figure out where certain things are at. It's all up here for them. You see the staircase is full, why don't you just go, you know what, the new pool's gonna help. The new pool has got to help that whole situation, good lord. Swimming pool 7 is unsafe, that's an old notification. Many guests are thirsty. There's plenty of water to drink, you guys. Okay, not gonna lie, that filled up way faster than I was expecting, but it's good to see everyone enjoying themselves in the wave pool. So we're gonna use the multi-select tool next, and I'm gonna grab those 3 and these 3, confirm that selection. We're gonna duplicate this using the advanced duplicate, rotate them around this direction, and then we're gonna slide them on over to our new wave pool. Remember earlier when we had like 1,100 total guests in the park? So to combat the overcrowding issue, we added an extra pool for them. Well, now we have just shy of 900 guests, so I don't know where everyone else went, but at least the overcrowding issue has been sorted, which is good. But unfortunately, that is all I have time for today. I've been at this for a whopping 5 hours now, so I really hope that we don't get another measly 15-minute episode out of this, but it's happened before. So with that, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.